What if you found out you were being robbed? Would you put a stop to it? The average person is losing as much as 10% of their wealth every year. When you save money, currency, your wealth is lost via inflation, no matter how well you hide it. Letting inflation rob you blind is like shredding your cash and kissing your nest egg goodbye. Over the last 100 years, the cumulative inflation adds up to over 2,200%. That's a losing battle for money savers. John Maynard Keynes. By a continuing process of inflation, government can confiscate, secretly and unobserved, an important part of the wealth of their citizens. This system of confiscation was put into place between 1913, with the founding of the private central bank of the U.S., known as the Federal Reserve, and 1971, when the U.S. monetary system was completely changed from one based on sound money to one based on fiat paper currency with no commodity backing. It took 3 generations to complete this transformation. Propaganda would be necessary at each step to convince the people that the changes were in their best interest. This is the manner in which major changes are accepted, slowly, in stages, each stage being introduced to a new generation that had already become accustomed to changes that their parents or grandparents would scarcely have tolerated. So what is fiat? Any money declared by a government to be legal tender. State-issued money which is neither convertible by law to any other thing, nor fixed in value in terms of any objective standard. Money without intrinsic value. Thomas Jefferson. I believe that banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issuance of their currency, first by inflation and then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all their property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The Federal Reserve is not a government entity. It is a group of private banks, which the government has empowered with the ability to create and regulate our money. According to the U.S. Constitution, the power to coin money and regulate the value shall reside solely with Congress, and the money needs to be gold and silver. Leading up to 1913, a group of powerful bankers were able to use their political influence to convince Congress that they could do a better job stabilizing the U.S. dollar. Just how well has the Federal Reserve stabilized the value of the dollar? Since its founding, the dollar has depreciated by over 95%. In 1933, the U.S. government made it illegal for Americans to own gold. They simply could not afford to allow gold to compete with the dollar, for fear that the people would choose to store their wealth in real money rather than in intrinsically worthless paper. What had the governments accomplished? They now had a system of covert taxation and wealth confiscation that even the Internal Revenue Service would envy. The declining U.S. dollar is not alone. Today, all governments are inflating their currencies at record rates. As currencies decline in unison, they will appear to be relatively stable in relation to one another, but the amount of commodities which those currencies will buy will decrease. We see this as rising prices. Fortunately, there is a solution. 2 commodities in particular are very reliable indicators of the true value of fiat currencies. Those are gold and silver, due to their monetary role throughout history. That is why gold and silver are considered by many to be the only true money. Many economists believe that future currency will be the same commodities that have served as money for thousands of years, and the wise are investing in them right now. As you can see, gold and silver have perfectly filled in the gap left by the falling value of fiat currencies around the globe. When looking at the year-to-date 2016 futures, silver is off the chart and gold has done extremely well. Here is a 12-month look at the industrial group. Silver and gold again excel compared to everything else. Could this be a glimpse of the path that will protect us from our currency's downfall? As the dollar's tie to gold and silver was progressively loosened, inflation has continued to escalate. As a result, since 1960, there has been an 85% decline in the dollar's purchasing power. In other words, today's dollar is worth about 15 cents when compared to a 1960 dollar. The average house in 1960 cost $8,000, or about 10,000 ounces of silver. Today, you can't even make a down payment on a house with $8,000. If you had saved $8,000 in a savings account in 1960, today you would have $18,000, still not enough to buy a house. However, you can easily still buy a nice house for 10,000 ounces of silver. This is an exact example of the protecting value of silver and gold. Here are a few benefits of saving precious metals over currencies. 1. It's off the books. The fact is, no one knows how much gold or silver you have. Today, it is a private matter. 2. A history of being money, it is the same no matter where it was mined or how old it is. You can take a gold or silver piece anywhere in the world and it has value. This is much different than fiat currency. Once outside of your nation's borders, a currency may not be generally accepted. 3. It can't go to zero. The process to get a 1-ounce gold or silver coin to you has many man-hours behind it when you consider the full operation of exploration, production, refinement, and delivery. The entire point of saving your wealth is to save, not to lose. 4. The currency printers are hoarding it. Central banks who print the currencies, which the masses treat as a store of value, those central banks buy and store physical gold and silver. This should catch our attention, and it would be good for us to do what they do, not what they say. 5. Financial insurance. When it all hits the fan, be that a government or economic collapse, at the end of the day, gold and silver survives. 6. Portable. You can easily carry or move your wealth to a different region. Your fiat currencies are typically tied up over the weekend and holidays and often hard to withdraw in large amounts. 7. Legacy wealth. Gold and silver are wealth you can safely store away knowing that it is something of great value that you can pass on to your children and your children's children. No matter how young or how far along in life you are, there is always a proper amount of precious metals one should maintain. Experts like Robert Kiyosaki recommend a good balance by paying yourself first with 30% of your income, giving 10% to charity or tithe, investing 10% into something that produces cash flow, and saving 10% with precious metals as wealth insurance, then living off of 70% of your income. While you want some of your money invested in things that create regular cash flow, you also need a savings that is somewhat liquid. Most think the only way to have liquidity is to save cash. However, precious metals are just the right balance of liquidity. Not too easy to spend, but easy enough to liquidate in case of an emergency, creating the perfect savings. New York Times bestseller, The Automatic Millionaire, says, "Never leave saving to discipline. Make it automatic." It's for this very reason ISN has set up a strategic silver and gold auto savings for those wanting to securely get ahead in life. It's convenient and simple. You're not purchasing anything, you're simply trading currency for real money, precious metals that hold true value, and doing so automatically on an affordable monthly basis at a competitive rate. Most financial advisors believe in saving at least 10% of your income, and doing so in precious metals just makes sense. Here at ISN, it is our vision that everyone would benefit from saving silver and gold at whatever level they can afford. The main point is to just start today. With ISN, it's never been easier to own physical silver and gold. You simply pick which strategy works best for you, and you'll receive the silver and or gold safely and securely delivered right to your home each month. The best silver and gold is the kind you get to hold in your hands. Being established on an auto saver, you get to take advantage of dollar cost averaging. ISN buys in bulk, and this saves you from daily fluctuations and gives you the best overall pricing. Gold and silver are a safe stash of value that you can tap into when you are in your golden years or at any time throughout your life. Ultimately, when you are saving a portion of your earnings, you want to protect and preserve it. Precious metals is the best way to achieve these objectives. Our goal at ISN is to enrich the lives of individuals by helping them acquire valuable silver and gold assets, all while providing meals to hungry children around the world. At ISN, we want to be more than just a precious metals company, so we have a strategic partnership with Feed My Starving Children to provide nutritious meals to hungry children all around the globe. With every precious metals order you place, you are helping eradicate child starvation. ISN is very proud to be a part of a global solution to hunger, and we acknowledge all of our customers who make it possible for us to help in this way. When saving precious metals with ISN, you're able to create wealth, preserve your wealth, and help eliminate child hunger. So the best time for you to start saving true money is today.